Welcome back to the Bravo Rundown, where we talk about everything Bravo, basically covering the biggest stories of the week and episodes and shows and books and everything that's Bravo. And I'm
Mhm.
joined with such a book aficionado expert, I
Oh,
feel.
love that term.
Yay! This is Sonia Weber, and tell them where they can follow you.
You can find me at Just Booking Around, Instagram, TikTok, and also Bravo, Bravo, Books and Bravo, Instagram, TikTok.
Perfect. And I'm Real Melz of Bravo. Follow us because we do this every week. And this week we're even going to do part two because have so much to discuss. So let's kick it off with RHONY. The official new cast was released, and we have a new friend of, but it's an old friend of.
It's an old friend of Carole Radziwil is coming back. What do you
Look
think
at that.
about it? What do you think?
I love Carol. Like I've been watching old seasons. Like I felt like the precipice or the peak of RHONY was when Bethany and Carol were like going at it, right? Bethany, Carol, Dorinda, that was like magical. So, okay, it's just a little odd because of who else is on the show. I don't really know how she fits in with them.
I know it's interesting. Well, and if we go back, so last fall was it when Carol was on Watch What Happens Live, and it was
Yes.
such a big deal, which we were all, and me included, we were all so excited. But when we think about it, I was like, what was with all the excitement? Why were we so excited to see her back?
Was it because we knew that Andy and her were good friends, but they had had a falling out? So was it because we were like, oh, look, these old friends are becoming friends again? Or I'm not really sure. I was really excited about that too. So I'm not really sure.
I was too. And I remember that last reunion she was at, she said so, her and Bethany were going at it, and she turned to Andy and said something like, "Oh, you're going to side with her." It was really the
Yes.
first, other than Teresa's push of Andy on that one reunion, it was kind of the first time we saw a housewife like speak up and say something to Andy. Because, she wasn't a spot where it was like she didn't need the show. And
Yeah.
apparently Andy knew her through the social circles and had been trying to get her on for a long time and had to convince her. So I think she kind of felt like, I don't need this.
And
I
yes, and then she openly talked about kind of how toxic Housewives was and how she just was over it and didn't ever want to go back. So then this move was just a little surprising.
it was so I recently heard on a pod, I can't even remember where I hear things, but the real reason for the Bethany and the Carol breakup of the relationship.
Mhm.
But apparently what had happened in the off season between the two seasons when they were filming, one of Carol's good friends' spouse passed away in LA. So Carol went to be, while she was mourning, she was grieving her
I
husband, she
remember
went to
that.
be with that friend.
Yeah.
And then Bethany was at the same time, I don't know if it was during that time when she was grieving, but reached out to that person to make a production deal, or do you know that part? Like she was trying to do some kind of
No.
she was going to do some kind of deal with her, and Carol thought it was so disrespectful. Like, what are you doing? She's not in a good place. Like, don't reach out to her. I don't know if it was for her nonprofit, if it was for something, and I think that was the big crack where Carol realized everything is all about making money and business and deals. And that just kind of, because we didn't see that on her last season. And it's funny because at the time we were all so pro Bethany, and watching Carol be so cold to her, it was everyone turned against Carol.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
now the public has a different feeling of Bethany, and it's kind of making you question, well, hold on, whose side were we on? Was that the right side to be on?
When I rewatched it recently, I was kind of on both of their sides at different times. Like one episode, I kind of go back, but also, I don't know. I mean, you can see now, knowing everything we know about Bethany, you could just see how difficult it would be to be like good friends with her. You know what I mean? And I
Yes.
remember they talked about during that time when she was with her friend who was grieving, and Bethany kept texting her. And
Yes.
Carol was like, it's not a good time. We'll talk later. And Bethany just kept texting Carol. So it's kind of like a friendship with Bethany is a friendship on Bethany's terms, not
Yes.
your terms, whatever, Bethany is one of those people that it's on her terms always.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't really have a lot of friends. Everyone says this. We've watched her since
Mhm.
RHONY. We watched her on her own show. We watched her come back to RHONY. And she has a couple from her, I think, her boarding school days in Miami. There's like one or
Oh,
two I can think of that I remember seeing over and over again. One thing about Bethany, I was listening to the Bitch Bible with Ryan Bailey. She was on, Jackie Schimmel was saying, the thing with Bethany is we're not really mad at her and who she is. We're mad at ourselves for being duped by her and thinking she was the person of reason. She was the narrator of RHONY. And now we're looking at her and we're like, how are we duped by her? She's just as
No,
crazy as the others.
seriously, she was so good at creating that narrative that she was kind of like, she would say herself that she was like crazy or da da da, but it was like, oh, but you're Bethany and we like fell in love with
Yeah.
you, right? I mean, she wasn't as crazy as like Ramona and Sonia and Luann, but actually you're right. They're
She
all
is.
they're all
Yeah.
on the
Well,
same
and
level.
maybe it's money and fame that all, I always thought that's what it was. It was the money and the fame that got to her.
Mhm.
And now it's like you have all the money, but you still need to be an influencer. I'll occasionally go through her Instagram stories and it's like, get this shirt, get this thing. And I'm a very anti-stuff. I'm always like, I'm a minimalist. I'm always trying to clean out my house. So I get
Same.
very turned off by people who are constantly telling me things to buy. And so I'm also like, but she's also a minimalist. She's like the anti of a hoarder. She's always cleaning. If we watch, I mean, like on RHONY, you're doing your rewatch, you see her constantly cleaning things out and getting rid of
Yes.
stuff. So the fact that she's like an influencer just shilling stuff constantly in your face of what to buy kind of goes against who she is.
That's so true. I never really thought about that. She just, the thing is, I would want her back, but I want
Yeah.
her, right? Like even though all everything we know about her, it's like I still want her back because I know she can make good TV. I
Yeah.
would love to have her on that RHONY reboot on E with now Dorinda on it, and
Mhm.
those other ladies. You listen to Dorinda's podcast and tell me
Oh,
what
yeah.
Dorinda said
So
about Carole returning.
well, let me first say that she has been sick this week. So she came on
Okay.
the show and like I haven't been feeling well. So it seemed like when Kiki Monique is her radio partner and Kate Chastain was on the show that day.
Oh,
And Kate was
cool.
kind of like a little bit of a host. And so Kiki asked Kate, what do you think about the new cast? What do you think about Carole coming back? And Kate just kind of tossed it over to Dorinda. I'm like, Dorinda, because I kind of think Kiki was protecting Dorinda by not going straight to Dorinda and asked Kate, and Kate threw it to Dorinda, and Dorinda just kind of seemed caught off guard. She seemed kind of upset. She seemed kind of jealous.
Hmm.
She just said she was surprised. I think she was also hurt. She said Carole and I actually talked quite a bit, and I'm just finding out with everyone else, and she didn't tell me. I couldn't tell if she was jealous that she was on RHONY or if she was more hurt that she's having to find out in the public sphere as opposed to Carole giving her a call and giving her a heads up.
And you posted a video about it, and then somebody commented on your video.
Oh, yeah. Carole commented. So part of what Dorinda said in her
Oh,
clip, Dorinda said she doesn't even know any of those people. And Carole responded saying, I actually do know these people. Well, when I want to be a friend of. So Dorinda had said, why is she a friend of? She's full status, right? And
hmm.
Carole said, I want my life, so I want to be a friend of. One, two, I know all these cast members. Unlike the original time she was on RHONY, she didn't know any of those cast members when she joined.
Oh, I had no idea.
I didn't either.
She knows all of these people. Okay,
Well,
we're
she's
about,
been hanging out with Aaron.
oh, she has. Oh, I could see those two getting along now that you say that.
Mhm.
Uh,
She said in the around the fall because at BravoCon, I clipped today from Andy's show. So Andy was
okay.
talking about it, and he said Jeff Lewis had asked him, "Okay, Carole is making the rounds again, so clearly she's going to come back on the show." And Andy's like, "No, absolutely not. She's not." And he said that was never in the plans until maybe around December. He asked her to go, "Let's go get some coffee," and he offered her that idea, and he said she left like 50-50 chance she was going to join. So it's fairly new.
See, also, I've heard a couple other housewives talking about joining as a friend of and joining as a full cast member. And I always thought that it would be better to join as a friend of because then you don't have to like show as much of your life if you wanted to
Mhm.
just kind of get into it a little bit. But the housewives, and I don't know if it was Tamara who was talking about this, I feel like it may have been, but they really, those full-time housewives who have been in the trenches, they say that don't come back as a friend of because it's like not enough or they just think that you need to come back and like show everything and be full-time if you were a full-time housewives before. And it's like they look down on that friend of
That's
position, right?
mm-hmm.
I don't look down on that position. I
I
think that
don't.
would be ideal. You come, you do the mess, and you don't have to like, show everything that's happening in your
Yeah.
life and hear what everyone has to say. I mean, you're still going to hear what they have to say, but I don't know. I think
Mm.
it's good, but I guess some people look down on it.
I think it's changed. I think it
Hmm.
in the past, like remember when Vicky was a friend of her last season? Do you remember that reunion? They have the footage of her because she didn't get to sit on the couch the whole time. So
Oh,
she's in the green room or whatever, her little room, and the cameras are trying to get her, and she's like poking through the door with this angry face, like, get out of here. She was so mad because she couldn't be on the couch the whole time. So I think for the OGs, it's like it feels like a step down.
yeah.
But I think after a pause, here's your way to kind of dabble in it and
Yes.
really, and we'll talk about, I know we're going to talk about Lisa Rinna's book, but she says in the book, like, you don't make money off housewives. It's a way to show your product, whatever. It's just an avenue to make money in other ways. So friend of would be your best case scenario because yes, you get paid less, but hopefully you have other jobs. And so basically by just showing your face here and there, it's going to then get people to go whatever other businesses you have. So I guess Carole, her Substack, maybe she's writing another book and she wants to get her
Yeah.
name out there.
Oh, I mean, I guess, and she's friends with Aaron, so they released the rest of the cast. So Aaron,
Mhm.
Cy, and Jessel are full time, right, from
Yes.
the original reboot. But we got some new ladies.
Wait, what do you think of Aaron, Jessel, and Cy? With Uba and Jenna, Lyons and Brent? Like, do you think those were the good choice?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with any of them. I know Erin, a lot of people don't like Erin. I can tolerate her. I don't love any of them, but I don't hate him either. So I'm okay
Yeah.
with it. What about you?
I like that. I think they're all New York.
Yeah.
Erin is
Yes.
very New York. I think she's just one of those that's going to be like our villain or our insufferable Amanda Francis. That's how she has been. But I think she is very New York, born and raised in the city.
Hmm.
Jessel, she's a transplant. She's very much into not quite an influencer, but she's always at Manhattan events. Always, which is like a Jill Zarin. I think you need that on RHONY.
Hmm.
And Sai's an influencer,
Yeah.
also out at a lot of events. I think that's an important part of RHONY because RHONY is really the Manhattan is one of the cast members more so than any
Absolutely.
city.
I was gonna say that too. That is one of the cast members, and we want to see that, and we want you out on the town. And I think also like Cy brings good fashion, Jessel brings
Yes,
good fashion.
yes,
So I'm excited to see kind of their evolution of fashion they bring.
yes. Okay, you want to go through the new ones?
Yeah, the newbies. Okay, first off is
I
Haley
wrote it.
Glassman and whatever. She previously dated Jon Gosselin of John and Kate Plus Eight, which I watched every episode of
Did you
that show.
everyone?
Yes, I mean I watched that show and Kate was really mean to John. So when he left her, I didn't feel bad about her. Like I didn't feel bad
Yeah,
for her.
yeah,
And
she
then he got
was.
together with this Haley and I mean, I just looked back at some of the articles and the paparazzi was like following them all over the place.
Was that the first person that he dated after he
I
broke up?
think so. I maybe there was like another girl, but they were like it was always like they were clubbing or they were like they were just out on the town. It didn't feel like he had a bunch of kids when he was dating this chick. So,
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
oh yeah, you're back. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't. My phone was ringing. I didn't
Oh,
realize. I
that's
I went
okay.
hidden for a second. So I didn't. I remember at the time that he was kind of out there, but you've got 8 kids, so you're kind of like, let's go. Like, I need to get out of here.
Exactly. Yeah.
And isn't her father a famed plastic surgeon?
Oh, I didn't know
I think
that.
I read that in page 6, like when he was first seen with her. And was she young? Was she in her 20s,
She
like the
was
party scene?
young. Yeah, yeah, she was young, I
And
think.
what was that Christian, the Ed Hardy and the Christian, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, that fashion brand, the hats and the
Oh,
shirts.
Von Dutch or
Christian, I started with like an A
oh,
U.
like
I can't say it.
no, I don't know.
It
But
was
yeah, it was
something, but
during that Ed Hardy
it
Von
was
Dutch
so
part.
bad.
Yes, it
Because
was
didn't he
bad.
also date like some PR girl, Lizzie something after? Was that him?
I can't
She had, I think,
remember.
had a reality show for a little bit too. It might have been. I don't know, but I feel, wait, but there's more on Haley Glassman, isn't there? Wasn't
What?
she the one messaging girl with no job?
No, that is oh, is that her?
I thought it was her
It
because there's
must be
only
her.
three.
Oh, there's
It
only
can't, it's not the
three.
other two. Yeah. I think it was her. As I'm saying, like she's got two things strike. People who are like, is she gonna even make it to film? Is she gonna? So wait, describe the. Did you see the video? Or did you see the girl with no job? The messages that she
Yes.
sent.
That she was like hazing her in the DMs kind of thing. She was very rude to her about her weight and like saying really mean things about her when she was pregnant, then when she wasn't pregnant, and just I don't first of all, I don't DM anyone unless they're my friend. Second of
Yeah.
all, you would never get a mean DM from me because I will just keep my mean comments to myself.
Yeah.
You know,
It's very odd. One of them was like, "Oh, you look great. You look skinny. Look great."
hmm
Like it was
hmm
the weirdest things. Or admit that you're taking whatever GLP-1. It was a lot about her weight,
It was,
the
which was
obsession with her
really
weight.
weird. I'm gonna look it up and see.
Oh yeah, who it
Um,
is. Which
if it
that's
was
why it's
her.
like if you're already coming in strong like that, then I was kind of
Yeah.
like, does Claudia Oshry, the girl with no job, does she live in Manhattan? Do we need her on the show?
I mean, she
She
has
would
a
be a
huge
personality.
following. She
I
has
know.
3 million following. So, you know,
Although
I
I don't
think
know if she's in Florida. She might be in Florida now.
I don't know. I don't, she has a lot of content, so I'm not gonna be
Can
able to
you
find it.
imagine the Haley Glassman though with Carole? If she's sending messages like this to random influencers online, and Carole's gonna say, I'm surprised Carole is like, I'll film with these people. I don't
I
know them.
know. And
Yeah. Sigh. Yeah.
she knows this chick. Okay, let's move on to Daisy Toy. Is it Toy or Toya?
Toy. I don't know. People are saying toy, but it could be,
Okay.
yeah, it could be. She is the one that is Martha Stewart's makeup artist, right?
Yes. And so I looked up their ages, the newbies, and hers is not listed. And which I
Oh,
actually think is really cool. I know.
I love that.
It said that her age and birthday are not publicly listed when you Google her. And so you can't find out her birthday, you can't find out her age. And even like someone else had done it and they just had question marks by her name. So I was like, okay, I kind of like that. I used
Oh,
to not tell
yeah.
people my age because I feel like it would like age me out. Now I don't care, but
Yeah.
good for her. The Haley Glassman is in her late 30s,
Okay.
and Erica Hammond, which is the third girl we're about to talk about, she is 34. So all much
They're young.
younger than
Yeah.
Carole. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't want to see the, I hate to say it. I'm going to be like Sutton and I'm going to say it. Oh, she's pregnant too. Like, I don't want to see pregnancy. I don't want to see them dealing with the nannies. I just, part of what I
Hmm.
loved Housewives is they were already past that phase.
Yeah.
You know, like they're on their second chapter now. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot of, and I know Erin just had her baby, but you've got nannies, you've got double nannies and night nurses. Let me see you go out at night. I don't want to see you shuffling the kids to
Yeah.
school, that morning scene. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, this isn't
Which
the Valley. This is the
no,
Housewives. You
yes.
know, put those people on the Valley with the million children or whatever pregnancies and keep those. This is gonna be, I don't know if this is a mean take or not. Keep your like fertility journey storyline
Yes.
also off
Yes.
Housewives,
Yeah.
you know?
And can we take a moment for Luann, who was the first one, I think, to have that journey with Jacques that we all know was fake. We all knew she wasn't going to have another child and with Jacques. I mean, she had a cabaret, you know, whatever put together still. That was never happening. But I just needed to take that one moment for Luann because she started it.
Definitely.
But correct, we don't need it anymore. We really
Right,
don't.
we don't. What do we know about? Oh, so Daisy Toy is a celebrity makeup artist, including Martha Stewart's makeup
Which
artist.
Martha Stewart looks great.
She
She's
sure
got some
does.
nice Instagram photos, some thirst traps going,
Yes.
which if okay, Daisy, let's see this
Yeah, yeah.
for sure.
And then the third girl,
Well,
Eric.
wait, I heard
Yeah.
that
Oh.
Martha might be filming with Daisy. I don't know if that's true. I think it was Ryan Bailey that said that. I don't, I I tend to trust him. I don't know where he got that information from, but but I could see it. Like sometimes I'd be like, okay, a celebrity on this show, no. But I could
Mhm.
see Martha Stewart maybe filming a scene or something for RHONY. Could you see it?
Same, same.
Yeah.
Yes, and I would love to see it.
Yeah. I mean, we did get Kelsey Grammer on the first season of Beverly Hills, so there's
We
always a
sure did. And
chance.
we just got Donna Karen
I know
on
we did in
on
the
Real Housewives of Beverly
Hamptons.
Hills,
And
right?
also, sidebar, I'm really glad that they're starting to film in March. I could not stand when RHONY filmed in the fall and the winter, when they're like walking to go get a coffee and it's already dark. I want to see
Mm.
the Hamptons. I don't want to see the Hamptons in the fall when it's dreary. I want to see the Hamptons in the spring. Maybe we'll get Easter in the Hamptons. I want to see like summer clothes in the city. So I'm glad that the filming schedule is now.
Okay, I'm okay with that. The only thing is you're going to miss out on all the holidays. And remember, they were
Yeah.
so iconic on old Roni, but maybe you just leave that for old
That's
Roni.
okay. Yeah. Well, here and there. I mean, I do remember that. What was the one where it was a Christmas one, and I think Luann was singing, and then that punk rock band starts screaming. Like they were, who was in that line? Remember Luann? I think Luann was it was some Christmas party, and then I'm going to find that episode. I'm going to show
Okay,
it to you.
okay. No, I'm
Oh,
just thinking about like Bluestone Manor and like when Bethany was dressed up
oh,
like the elf and like,
but that's Bluestone Manor. Like these ladies, we're going to have Aaron's house in the Hamptons is not Bluestone
oh,
Manor. Great house,
it sure ain't.
but
It
it's
sure
not.
ain't.
No.
Okay, let's talk about the third lady because then we're gonna move on.
Okay.
Erica Hammond. She's a
Yes.
WWE diva.
So I don't know how long ago she got married, but I randomly came across photos of her wedding. It's in People magazine. She got married in Egypt. I think it was Egypt, but it was the owner of Built, who was an Indian man. So she was like in Indian clothes. And I think that's how my eyes got
Oh,
attracted to it. She was in Indian clothes and it was in Egypt. And I remember just going through like, what a wedding. And then I saw her body and I'm like, oh my gosh, who is this fitness woman? She is gorgeous. But I never knew till like yesterday that she was a WWE performer. Is that the word?
yeah, or a wrestler. I know that
Oh
is
yeah.
cool. I mean, talk about diverse. You know what I mean? We've never had anyone with that kind of background on
No.
Housewives, and I'm interested to see. I think she might be good at this game because she's had to play with the divas, right? And that seems like cutthroat and drama too.
Yes, that's a very good point. Can we get a
Right.
Bella sister cameo? I love them. I didn't watch
Me
WWE
too.
ever, but I watched their e-shows
Me
and I came
too.
obsessed with them. Like I know too much about them because supposedly, who is it that Nikki, the one that was married to the dancer, right? She was seen with who was, oh wait, okay, I'm gonna have to report back. She
Okay.
was seen with some guy, some young guy,
Yes.
but someone else was also tied to that guy recently.
Well,
Is it a football player?
yeah, she was, if it's a football player and he's like, I don't know, he's a college football player, young, 21,
I'm sorry,
22.
he's in college still?
Yes, yeah, he's a
No.
college football player, or maybe he's a rookie, but he's literally 22, I think, because Sally is the one who
Oh,
DM'd him.
that's it.
And
Okay.
Sally
Okay,
sent
that's
an
it.
article to him of him like being seen with Nikki Bella and was like, "Is this real?" And I'm like,
That's right. That's the
Sally,
not skinny, not
leave,
fat. She said
yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
Okay, I knew
leave
it was
Nikki
somewhere.
Bella alone, Sally.
And it was for because
Jeez.
she's a big what's their football team? Philadelphia, the
Philadelphia
Eagles.
Eagles.
She's a big Eagles fan, isn't she?
Is
Nikki
she?
Bella.
Oh, I don't
Yeah, I don't know
know.
why. I know so much about
I
because
love
she's not
that.
from.
I
It's so
love
random.
that.
Never watched a WWE match, but I just love their story and their mom, and then their brother and the brother's ex-wife is an influencer. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. Anyways, big sidebar, but can we get Nikki as a cameo through
Can we?
WWE?
Can we?
Yes.
We're changing topics now
Okay.
because we're talking about the Lisa Rinna book.
Oh,
Woo! Because we both read it and we
yeah.
both have lots of thoughts, and it's you better believe I'm going to talk about it. And there was some things in there that I expected, or she said she was going to talk about, but then there was a lot of things that I didn't think she was going to talk about. She was very open about her upbringing and her husband and her children. So Let's discuss.
Yeah, I thought it was so good. I felt the beginning. So the beginning is very Housewives Bravo heavy. And I remember being like a quarter of the way through thinking, my mind needs a format. Like I'm very big on
Uh-huh.
format and how
Okay.
things are organized and outlined. And I was really grappling in the beginning, like, how is she organizing this? I probably should go back and look at the chapter names because I realized are all the chapter names after her housewife line
I think
taglines?
so, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the beginning was kind of, but she gave a lot of good Bravo tea. I
Yes.
didn't realize that she tried out for season 1 of Housewives of Beverly
Yes.
Hills, and Andy said no.
Hmm.
But she's friends with everyone, so she's already
Right.
in their circle, knew them. So it kind of seemed like every season was she just trying to get on the show.
Right, right. And she did say that in the book at first, Harry was like, no, I don't want you on that show. And then at then like she would kind of say things and plant seeds. And then eventually he was like, I think that would be, something that would be good for you.
Well, it kind of seems like it came down to financially,
Yeah.
right? She's very
Yeah.
honest about the life. I mean, they have this huge home in Beverly Hills, all her couture, but she's very honest with life and she's always been this way, right? Like life in the
Yeah.
acting, like your money is not guaranteed. I imagine there's no 401k, there's no pension. How are you getting your health insurance?
Yeah. Yeah.
So at the time it was they had owned their store, that Belle Gray.
Hmm.
What did she say that was franchised or not franchised, but that they had multiple
Yeah, they had
locations?
two locations. One, the original location, which I think they said Sherman Oaks, and then the other one was Calabasas. So
Yeah.
that's like even before like Dash of the Kardashians. You know
Oh, it
what
was
I
before.
mean?
Oh,
I feel like it was
wow.
because this was like early 2000s, because I remember when I had heard about her store ahead of the book, and she was selling like Michael Stars, which, do you remember Michael
Yeah,
Stars? That was like,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
just like
Oh,
this
yeah.
stuff that she
Early
was
2000s.
selling. Yeah, I'm like, that's early 2000s. And I think Dash is more like 2006, 2010,
Oh,
maybe.
yes, it is because the show came out
Yeah,
around, yeah, I
was a
remember, yeah.
little later, but I was like, oh my gosh, what a pioneer. And that was one of the takeaways that I took from the book, was like she was so open about her businesses. She was open about Belgrade, the store, and just kind of how not every business is going to be like a lifetime business, and kind of knowing when to be like, okay, this
The
is
time is up.
done, right?
But how to live a life like that when your money is not guaranteed? It's like you're constantly trying to,
Yes.
because she said how old Harry is. It's like, can Harry not just relax now and enjoy
Yeah.
life? He's still having to get jobs.
And no, good point, because I feel like as an actor, it's very up and you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
my sister is an actor, and it is like that. Some years are really good, and then others, it's like there's nothing. And she said in the book that Harry wasn't in a movie for 40 years.
Oh, it was
Rem
40?
Yeah, I swear. I thought it was 40 because she said he was in that movie where he played a
Yes.
gay man, and then he basically got like a lot of backlash and no one would put him in a movie, and he wasn't in
Yeah.
another movie until that movie Brady at 80 or whatever, and that only came out a couple years
Oh,
ago.
because he was doing all TV.
Yeah.
He had to take a step down. So
Uh-huh.
I recently, like, how she's doing the rounds. It's a
Yes.
big round or multiple
Yes.
rounds for interviews. Well, I guess she couldn't get on Heather McDonald. So Heather McDonald replayed her interview from 2017 with Rinna. So I was like, let me listen to that. I'm just curious to see
Yes.
if things had changed. And it was a lot of the same stories, sharing the same things about, like, I mean, everything from the book,
Hmm.
same thing. And I totally just lost my train of
Oh,
thought of
that's
where I was going
okay.
with that. But basically, like taking anything that comes to you, right? Like the Depends ad.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love that she's totally like, look, I need the money. Even when like Brandy was making fun of her for it at the reunion that time, she's like, yeah, I did a Depends ad. Like that made me a lot of money. Proud to say I did. I'm
No,
like, good
it's
for
true,
her, you
right?
know? What really surprised me is I used to watch soaps a little bit, like in middle school, high school, here and there, but enough to where like you could watch it once a month and you knew exactly what was happening. I did not realize. So she had the big Billy and Bo storyline.
Hmm.
That Bo was they had to get security because of the way he treated her
Oh.
and Hope, the other love interest of that guy. I mean, just from someone like you know a character and then you find that out about them, and it was like, oh, the shock and like, and nothing was done. Oh, let's get some security now. Like, you're not going to get rid of this guy. You'd rather hire security. That's how Hollywood works. To protect your
Hmm.
actresses, let's hire security instead of firing the guy because we're getting money. We're making ratings are good.
No, that's terrible. And what he was the same guy that was treating her like crap on camera, right? For like years and years and
Yeah,
years.
yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
Not on camera, off
Oh,
camera.
off camera. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
On
like they were doing
camera is
love
fine. And then he
scenes
was
and
really mean to
but
her and like,
yeah, and she said
mhm.
that he showed an interest in her and she just wasn't interested in him at all. But really what it took away is she's not like a Hollywood girl. Like she seems like a wholesome, I don't know if
Yeah.
wholesome is, I don't mean it in any kind of negative way, but just like she's only had a handful of boyfriends in her life. And
Hmm.
I think that was it in that Heather McDonald podcast. She was saying how I'm a good girl. Like if there's a rule, if there's a job to be done, I'm going to be there on time. I'm going to do. I'm not going to question. I'm not going to say no. I do what I'm supposed to do. And you can really see that throughout the book. So those
Yeah.
last couple of years on Beverly Hills was such a shift from who she is.
Hmm.
She had even said in that Heather McDonald podcast that it was in 2017. She came on Beverly Hills in 2014. She said it's the easiest job.
Oh,
Yeah. She said
really?
it's the easiest job. There's not much work you have to do.
Oh, she's not saying that now.
No, no.
And also, I do think, okay, if there was a shift in her, which I personally am not on that bandwagon of like, she needs to go, she's awful, but
Yeah.
like, I know a lot of people are. But if there was a shift in her, it could have been when she started drinking on the show.
Yes.
And oh, this was something that I was like, oh, is that remember when she said Kim was close to death and then she said
Yes.
I don't remember saying that. I didn't say that. She was taking sleeping pills at that time, right? I think they were sleeping
Hmm.
pills.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were making her forget things. And
Yeah.
so she said the production company called her and was like, "You said that." And she was like,
Yeah.
"I did." And that's when she started weaning herself off of that sleeping pill. So I thought that was really interesting because that's
I don't know if I believe that
I
one
that's another
though.
thing I
That's
was
the thing. I
like,
want to believe her and I really liked her and I believed
yeah.
everything. And that was the one part. And I was the one part when I was reading it. I'm like, oh, Rinna, I don't know that I could believe this one.
I know I was definitely like, okay, like oh, like all loose ends were kind of tied up in
Yeah.
this book, right? And I don't think everything is kind of like that in life, like some things just don't try to,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what
No,
I mean? It's
there's
like,
no clean cut ending. Things, but she didn't own that.
no.
That's what's so because she taught, the accountability, but was she accountable? Because the last season, she said it was all because of her grief. It was
Yeah,
because of her grief. I've not gone through a loss to that level, so I
me
can't judge her
neither.
for that.
Same. Yeah.
I mean, she was not herself. But you brought up the drinking. So she did say in the book how Harry said you can go on the show, but you
Yeah.
can't drink. And so the
Yes.
first 5 years she didn't drink. And then she started drinking those last. That's a very good point. And
Right,
that's
like I'm just
when,
wondering, is that kind of when things started to change because it's like, well, I'm gonna drink now. Like, and things did change because
yeah.
I don't remember her being, I mean, I know we had Amsterdam and she was saying cool stuff, but I don't remember her being that kind of top dog until
No.
kind of more till the end,
Well,
right?
once LVP left,
Yes.
right? I think
Yes.
LVP kind of had that title. And then once he left, and once the France trip and they had the Fox Force 5, then you could kind of see it. For
Hmm.
sure. But she did ship, but also it was COVID. Her best friend Erica on the show was going through, I mean, the divorce, the Tom. And
Exactly.
you wonder like if she was kind of feeling like, should I trust my friend? She said she always supported her, but you
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, someone that close to you is going through that and you knew nothing about it. It's natural to kind of question, did she know that Tom was embezzling this money? You just
Mhm.
don't know. So I would imagine with the COVID and everything, she had lost her father at some point as well. She shared
Mhm.
the story about how her father passed away too.
Yes.
It's
Yes. In Oregon, you can be assisted to suicide, basically.
mhm.
with
It's legal.
it's legal in a certain way where it's not like you're given it, but it's like you take it. And so she watched that happen to
I
her
mean, I can't
dad.
imagine.
Me neither. I just,
She
wow,
went through a lot towards the end.
she
And then
really
talking about
did.
her daughters, Amelia. Amelia was public with her eating disorder.
Mhm.
And then Garcelle kind of threw it in her face a little bit. Like, or your outfits and how you dance affect how your child's eating disorder, which that is one of the worst things I probably have heard.
I
That was
forgot
bad.
that line. That is
You're
terrible.
that
Yeah.
was bad.
And
And
go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say probably the same thing. You're gonna say they don't talk. Her, Garcelle and Sutton. So the Garcelle, I mean, just will have nothing to do with them.
Hmm. And I thought it was okay. This was another thing that I was like, oh, okay. So I always hear that these people are friends of when we bring them on the show, right? Like you come on the show, you're my friend, but maybe we've never even met. We met once. And Renna says in her book that Sutton, Denise, and Garcelle were not close friends. They were just kind of acquaintances she saw at a lot of events, but they were not close. So finding out they weren't close kind of changes my perspective on everything that went down because it does seem like Renna just kind of threw them all under the bus
Yeah.
and didn't like them once they were on the show. But maybe they actually weren't close.
And it seemed like Garcelle and Denise both kind of used that to their advantage to say we were
Yes.
such good friends. Where Lisa's probably like, we're in the same acting world. It's kind of like a coworker, right? Or someone in
Yeah.
your network, a friend of a friend that maybe you knew them going in, but you weren't, or like yeah, a friend of a friend comes and works at your job. You're not best friends,
Yeah.
but that person coming in probably sees you as an ally or someone for support, but they're like, I don't have to automatically side with you. Because I was watching an old episode of Beverly Hills when they're in Palm Springs, and it was when Erica had apparently said to Crystal something about she talks to Tom, and then Garcelle brought that up on camera, and Lisa, I'm throwing off the name.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
Lisa was so upset. And she was like, that's effed up. You shouldn't be saying that, like mumbling it under her breath. And I think that's when the big divide really happened.
We are going to pause the conversation here, but we're going to be back for part two. So we'll see you in just a second, but definitely follow us and we'll be right back.